Welcome to the Marketing Remix, presented by Door Interactive. I'm Reed Carr, CEO of Door Interactive. Our show is a senior level marketer's resource for navigating our ever-evolving landscape. In each episode, in about 20 minutes, experts from different marketing disciplines representing different buyer touchpoints tackle one important marketing topic. Then, what do you need to know, and how does it affect the buyer? So today we're here to talk about how the blockchain will impact your marketing efforts. Over the past decade, nothing has been bigger than the use of granular data. That said, the problem with data is that it needs to be reliable and verifiable. The latter may be resolved by the arrival of blockchain technology. According to Wikipedia, a blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. Essentially, the blockchain is an immutable digital ledger. With data being an integral part of what we do, how will this form of digital record keeping affect marketers moving forward? So today we're here with Ron Hadler, Senior Director of Marketing Technology at Door Interactive, and Tyler Trent, Senior SEO Specialist at Door, to tell us a little bit about how their touch points are going to apply and how that's going to affect marketing. This blockchain technology is going to affect marketing and marketing's lives. So Ron?
Hi.
Welcome.
As my background, I've got a couple of decades in IT and development on the web. I've been working for Door for almost 10 years.
Wow, yes, a decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to mark things in decades at this point. And so my interest in blockchain is mostly in the leading edge of what's going on at Door. I introduce clients to new technologies, select platforms, and make recommendations.
All right. And Tyler?
Yes, I'm a senior SEO specialist here at Door Interactive. I've been working in the search engine optimization field for about 6 years now. I've been with Door for just over 8 months this week. It's been a lot of exciting and interesting happenings going on since I started here, and it's been an absolutely wild ride.
Absolutely, and Tyler's joining us from our Denver office, so it's fun to have you guys in a couple of different spots today.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, great. So I want to ask first question here is, and throw that out to Ron, is how did the blockchain come to fruition?
Sure. No, good place to start. So Stuart Haber and Scott Stormata did some of the first work in cryptographically secured chains of blocks back in the early 90s. That's kind of where some of this more interesting work was done. But really what started everything that we're doing today was by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 when he published a white paper on a cryptology forum and then started Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot of things going on and people don't know whether Satoshi is a single person or a group of people.
Right.
And so that's still even 10 years is being debated.
I appreciate there's a little mystery to this all. Well, so tell us a little bit about, so with that background, I think a lot of people tend to put cryptocurrency and blockchain as kind of one and the same, but we know that that's not true. I mean, cryptocurrency is one thing, blockchain is a part of it, but Ron, give us a little bit of background on the difference, how you distinguish those two from one another.
Sure. A short definition for blockchain is secure, decentralized digital ledger for trustfully transferring value. I think that's really the thing that transferring value is one of those things that will really resonate with folks as they understand how this works and why the openness of the Bitcoin first kind of implementation of blockchain really works, because it was done in such a manner that transferring not just money, but all types of value is really kind of what's central. And this day and age, it's almost a buzz. It's become a craze with the run up of all of these different cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, it's basically just changing blockchains for money. And so, essentially, you buy Bitcoin or other altcoins in exchange for money. And blockchain is I can exchange anything of value, whether that's land, ads, you name it.
Yeah. Well, I heard a little preview there. But so Tyler actually wrote a really cool blog post for us on blockchain and how it might apply to business. But Tyler, why don't you tell us a little bit of what, from your perspective on the SEO side, how you think blockchain is going to directly apply to marketing? And I want to hear Ron's elaboration on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Blockchain technology presents a lot of unique opportunities for marketers and how data is transferred back and forth between advertisers, consumers, businesses, and what have you. Um, for example, you could have a search engine that, say, you wanted to track keyword rankings across a wide variety of areas globally. That's not necessarily an easy thing to do with a singular centralized tool. So for something like blockchain technology to influence this, if I wanted to use that technology to track keywords over a large, wide variety of locations and users and device types, you could create some kind of blockchain coin token, like an SEO type of coin, that would basically say, okay, you can sign up your device. We're going to use it to perform searches in the background based on requests from SEOs who wanted to say, okay, I want to track keyword rankings for X number of keywords across all these different countries and all these different devices. And with every device that gets added into that's participating, you're going to get results from them from searches conducted in the background on their device. More participation would result in better accuracy, and then everybody who participated would be awarded some type of blockchain related token saying, hey, thanks for letting us use your device to check keyword rankings on these keywords. Here's a token that's going to then incentivize participation. And that's just a really small scale example, but there's ultimately the opportunity to create full scale digital marketing analytics tools that can provide more accurate data than any of today's services can provide, even more so than Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics, because it would be decentralized across tens of thousands of devices. And there would be that trustless aspect where all data is validated before it's passed on.
Oh, man. Ron, I know you can elaborate on this, and you are the Rosetta Stone of tech to marketing speak. Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that? Explain to the marketer, the person listening to us here, how are they going to be able to apply this? It sounds, I hear accuracy, I hear the way that they can exchange some of this data on a dispersed level. So what are some other thoughts you have?
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things is that we're at just the start of what's going on with blockchain. And so this could probably be akin to the 1993 period for the internet and what's going on. So the ideas that people are just coming about are really at the beginning, and what we think is going to transform, because one thing that is certain is that the human element is going to be in there, and people use it for a lot of different things.
Right.
Transparency is one of the biggest things in what's going on, especially when it comes to maybe like ad buys. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we always have difficulty to see in a sense is the reason that we go through kind of clearinghouses to buy ads from websites is that we don't know if the owner of the website is being truthful or not about the amount of traffic that they actually get. With something like blockchain, you can actually display how much traffic they're getting as far as on their website, and basically go directly to a website to buy ad space on that website and know that trustfully that what they say is what happens.
Right. So blockchain, one thing I want to kind of latch onto that is one of the primary benefits of this is its kind of ability to cut out some of the middlemen in between the 2 points.
100%. Yeah. And that's really, when it comes to a contract, no matter what sort of contract that is, there's always a middleman. So you're getting middled no matter where you're at, right. Whether it's, even with Bitcoin and in currencies, right? Is that there's always a banker in there making sure that what actually happens, did get transferred, money got transferred here, but they hold all of those purses and those ledgers. With Bitcoin, it's decentralized. Everybody owns a copy. Right. Now, they say it's very, very secure, but, a couple of the security issues that end up coming up with Bitcoin is that if somebody puts out a Bitcoin technology and 51% of the blocks are owned by a single entity or entities acting in concert, they can essentially fudge the system. Oh, man. So there are some vulnerabilities here, but those things are getting worked out. Okay. The other idea is that, you have to have a key in order to access your block. So that's how you know that you have, able to make transactions. Now, if you lose that key, you've lost access to the block, which has happened in Bitcoin. That several million Bitcoins are no longer available. Most likely people have lost those keys.
Oh, man. Well, I think everyone's got to keep track of their keys in general. Get a little IoT device. Hopefully it'll find it somewhere around the house or in the seat cushions. Pretty sure that's not how that works, though.
Some other ideas, is, and I think Tyler touched on this, is microcurrencies, in the sense of being able to, here again, a lot around ad. A lot of the ideas that are coming out are coming around ads because that industry is ripe for disruption, and there is a lot of middling going on in it. In a sense that, I can be paid for every ad I see. In the sense that you want my attention, I could get a microcurrency for you to be able to show me your ad. Even in such things like says email, you are a kind of digital star here in San Diego, Reed, and so people can pay for your attention in cryptocurrencies. Mark Andreessen, the famous web investor, is now accepting questions. He'll look at your email for $100 in cryptocurrencies.
Ooh. I'm not at the $100 level. I'm pretty sure about that. Tyler, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that one of the really unique things about how this is going to end up working out is that it really kind of reverses the user model for advertising. We have blockchain technology that's really giving consumers the opportunity to potentially use their identity and affect their data in a new way that they've never been able to. And this like reversal of user model is kind of how advertising is going to be balanced maybe with consumer identity concerns.
Oh, wow.
A lot of us are now more concerned about how we secure our data. And what's really on the table at this point is that the customer will eventually have the opportunity to charge advertisers and marketers for access to their data, to be rewarded for the ads that we view based on a variety of different blockchain opportunities. There's already a couple of startups that are out there looking to expand the blockchain for ad insertion orders. They've basically created their own browser that serves you ads based on what you've been looking at in the past. And you will be given basically, say, for every ad impression that you're looking at, you're going to get a token from this browser. It's I think right now the startup is called AirFox is the name of the browser, and Air tokens are the type of currency that they're distributing. So as the user, you're saying, okay, if you're going to show me ads, at least compensate me for that. Right. If you're going to make me look at all of these different advertisements, make sure they're valid and make sure I'm being compensated for that. So it's really going to be an opportunity to change the entire fundamental nature of how advertisements are served to users. And it's kind of going to cut Google out as the middleman, as an ad distributor, unless they're able to accommodate that new change.
It's interesting to me on this, though, because I want to get back to then from a marketer's standpoint. I think you're saying the consumer is going to be able to take control of their information. So if you're willing to give up some privacy, you can get compensated for that. On the other side of it, though, is then we've got the publishers and the people who are putting out content, the people who pay their writers and reporters and everybody else based on ads or something like that. How do you guys think? I mean, again, we're just putting it out there because I don't know as if anybody truly knows what's going to happen in the future, but how do you see them playing a role in this? Because, I mean, I don't know if you're a writer for the Washington Post or New York Times or any of these other organizations here, Voice of San Diego, how are they going to make money? They need to. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
a tough one, right?
It's a good question.
Yeah, but well, I mean, what I think conceptually, what I'm hearing then is that they would play a role in facilitating this transaction as well. I mean, you still will have ad tech that's going to be able to get at the right creative types and the messages that the advertisers want to put out. There's going to have to facilitate this process anyway. It just may change kind of the way that money is changing hands.
Yeah, I think frictionless payments, right? I think that's really kind of what some of this will go out is just the ease of value exchanging hands, whether that be money or other items of value. I think even for writers, in the sense of, writers no longer need to work through a newspaper. They can just be their own brand. And so you go to read their articles and get access to it would be some sort of cryptocurrency or blockchain payment.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, that's where kind of the democratization of all of this then plays out because, the more popular you are, the more money you're going to make. So your example of Mark Andreessen charging $100, you have somebody way further down the funnel like myself, I don't know, can I get a half a cent? I don't know. But
half a Bitcoin.
Half a Bitcoin, that's right. That's going to be big someday, I hear. So Tyler, now on your side and some of the earlier stuff that you're talking about as it relates to then, because I think another angle at this is then the data aspect of it in aggregate. It's something larger than that. I mean, so what's the problem that we're experiencing right now that then blockchain solves in that regard? I mean, the distribution of people's data.
Blockchain affects not only the distribution of the data, but the validity of the data. So we've all seen implementation errors with existing analytics tools that kind of can hamper our ability to get valid insights from our own data. With the blockchain, we can decentralize that data and instead have it come from a distributed source of tens of thousands or millions of devices all over the world. And those devices work together to provide a more accurate and valid look at the metrics that we're most interested in. We can see how ads are served. We can measure them more accurately. We can get more accurate ratings from users who are looking at our ads or looking at our search results. And then we can actually compensate those users with digital coins using these broad-based digital suites that are built on blockchain technology.
Okay, so accuracy. So not only are we cutting out some of the middlemen, but we're getting far more accurate, particularly as it relates to when there's maybe gaps, what are today maybe some gaps. We're able to fill in those gaps because it's been distributed. So now, like, I want to bring this back down to from the marketing standpoint. I'm sitting here, brand marketer, at a big brand, saying, okay, now I understand blockchain is coming. How is this going to directly influence my world? How can should I be applying this today, or how can I apply this today?
Yeah, I think a really, really good use of blockchain is in the transparency. If you had something like a seafood restaurant, you could essentially track your sustainable seafood from hook to plate.
Oh, wow.
And being able to understand that, you are sustainably fishing just the right fish, what you've caught, what you've not caught. Same thing for organic food sources from seed to plate. So being able to understand that you've got, organic seeds, the chemicals or non-chemicals that have been put on the crops in order to, grow the food to delivery and each hand that it takes place. Even for a client such as ours as Gemological Institute of America, their report check, which shows, the value of that diamond as it exchanged multiple hands. Here's a perfect instance where blockchain could come in and understand where that is from essentially mining to ring.
So, and this is where I get into it. We're talking about currency as it relates to cryptocurrency, but in this case, data is that currency. So by having it exchanged from piece to piece, we're tracking that currency, the validity of the currency. In this case, it's not a dollar or cent. It's actually a piece of information.
Trusted value.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tyler, your thoughts? So how's the marketer going to put this to use right now?
As marketers, we can really, because of the transparency here that we can really start to engender or encode into everything that we're doing, we can use blockchain to minimize fraud. We can reduce the amount of spam that people are seeing, which would be great for anybody.
Oh my God, no kidding.
It can help prevent larger scale hacks, and that safety can become a marketable asset. By being able to validate the delivery of data and the reception of data and the transmission of data, we can really enable this shift of the measurement of the time that we're spending on campaigns to really spend more time measuring the output and the performance of our work. It could even upend stuff like timesheets instead of how many hours.
Wouldn't we all love to get rid of those?
Yeah, absolutely. And the blockchain, because of its proof of work concept, we really could just kind of move away from that and instead say, here's the work that's being done, here's the validity of it, and we're able to track that exchange really transparently to really vet and authenticate any and every type of contact that we're making with our audience.
Oh, great.
No more surfing Facebook during work hours.
No. Hey, no, that's actual work. we are dependent on Facebook today.
And then who knows? Maybe Facebook creates their own type of currency that says, "Hey, the more time you're spending on Facebook, the more stuff you're liking and clicking, you get a Facebook coin that you can then go in and turn on and spend on promoted ads to your friends or you're promoting your own content." All sorts of different opportunities.
You've heard it here first. Facebook currency. No, I swear, man, it sounds like blockchain. Marketing utopia via blockchain.
Yeah, that would be the dream.
Right. So improved privacy, better information, people being compensated for the data they wish to share to brands, cutting out some of the middlemen, finding a way to pay the publishers and those who are providing that content to us. So a lot of cool opportunities and applications. I mean, we're going to see how it all plays out. I mean, we're really in the thick of it right now. But it's really exciting, and it's truly been transforming a lot of things in the short term. So these marketers, we're going to want to keep an eye on this. I mean, any resources you guys think that they should be following beyond, obviously, what we're going to be talking about that any of these marketers should be following right now to kind of keep tabs on things? Or it's just I think right now you're going to keep hearing about it, I got to say, but anything more specific?
There's a lot of information being published on a regular basis about how marketing is influencing, blockchain is being there to influence marketing. And I mean, if you just do a quick search of blockchain impact on marketing, you can find 100 articles getting published every week to really dig deeper into it from lots of different perspectives. There are people who are focused on how businesses are going to be able to deliver ads to users. There are commentators who are saying, hey, as the user, you're going to have more control over your data. You have social media saying things like, hey, we're going to be able to create new rewards programs for our users to incentivize them spending time on our site. Yeah. So and everywhere you look, you can really start to see a lot of different hypotheses and a lot of different applications on how blockchain is impacting not just SEO, but social media, advertising, all of these different areas of marketing technology that we're looking at.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I know we will be keeping up on it. Ron, Tyler, really appreciate you guys joining us and sharing your vast knowledge on this emerging trend with the folks listening to us. So thanks a lot, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.